Paris Whitney Hilton was born on February 17, 1981, in New York City, the eldest child of real estate entrepreneur Richard Rick Hilton and former child actress Kathy Hilton. She grew up between Los Angeles, the Hamptons, and a suite at the Waldorf Astoria, a fourth-generation descendant of hotel founder Conrad Hilton and granddaughter of Baron Hilton. Her siblings, Nikki, Baron II and Conrad, rounded out a famously public family tree that also links to TV personalities Kim and Kyle Richards. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, Paris became a familiar face in fashion and nightlife, modeling and circulating in Manhattan and LA scenes. That visibility primed her for an early reality TV moment that would define a generation's pop culture tone. Alongside her childhood friend Nicole Richie, she starred in Fox's Fish Out of Water series, The Simple Life, which premiered on December 2, 2003. The show followed two pampered socialites trying blue-collar jobs. After 3 seasons on Fox, it continued on E! through 2007, ultimately spanning 5 seasons. Fame, by then, was a volatile currency. In 2004, a privately recorded video with then-boyfriend Rick Salomon, leaked without her consent, was released commercially as One Night in Paris. Litigation followed and was settled out of court. Contemporary reports said Hilton would receive a payment and a share of profits, which she later disavowed taking, and she publicly condemned the tape's distribution. The episode, often framed by others as a career catalyst, was, for Hilton, a boundary violation that hardened her resolve to control her narrative. Hilton's response to the tabloid era was an early playbook for multi-hyphenate branding. In August 2006, she released her debut album, Paris, on Warner Brothers Records. The reggae-tinged single, Stars Are Blind, became a bona fide hit, debuting and peaking at number 18 on the Billboard Hot 100 and topping the dance club chart. The album entered the Billboard 200 at number 6, with international chart placements across Europe and beyond. Whatever critics predicted, the music performed. Acting arrived in parallel. In 2005's horror remake, House of Wax, Hilton's supporting role drew plenty of attention, including a Razzie for Worst Supporting Actress the following year. Another example of how she drew heat while keeping her brand unmistakably present. But the most quietly consequential business move of her early career launched in 2004, fragrance. Partnering with Parlux, Hilton built a perfume empire that, across 2 decades and dozens of launches, has been repeatedly reported as surpassing $2.5 billion in cumulative retail sales, a sustained juggernaut that outlasted most celebrity scent cycles. By 2019, Women's Wear Daily was already putting the figure at around $2.5 billion. By 2025, WWD again characterized the franchise as more than $2.5 billion, as she celebrated her 30th fragrance. Even as a business builder, Hilton cultivated new lanes of performance. Beginning in 2013, she took a DJ residency at Amnesia Ibiza's Foam and Diamonds Party, returning summer after summer, and extending the run through mid-decade. Mainstream outlets covered her sets, her fees, and the novelty of an American socialite anchoring one of the island's splashiest nights. She later picked up club residencies in the US and toured globally, part of an unmistakable pivot from tabloid magnate to professional entertainer. The legal event that once threatened to reduce her to a caricature came in 2007, when a reckless driving case and probation violations led to a 45-day jail sentence. After a brief stint of home confinement ordered by the county sheriff, a judge returned her to custody. She was released on June 26, 2007. The episode saturated cable news and gossip blogs, but also marked the moment she began talking more openly about reinvention. The next real reinvention arrived years later, on her own terms. In September 2020, Hilton released the YouTube Originals documentary, This is Paris, which reframed her public persona and detailed the abuse she says she endured as a teenager at Provo Canyon School and other facilities. The film's release ignited a survivor movement around the troubled teen industry, with protests, petitions, and testimony. In early 2021, Utah lawmakers passed SB 127, increasing transparency and restricting restraints, chemical sedation, and seclusion practices at youth treatment centers. Governor Spencer Cox signed it into law that spring. Hilton supported the bill and has continued testifying and organizing nationally for oversight reforms. By late 2024, a federal measure, the Stop Institutional Child Abuse Act, advanced through Congress with her backing. Her public voice expanded again with Paris, the memoir, published March 14, 2023, Day Street Books/HarperCollins. The book recounts her family history, ADHD diagnosis, tabloid-era trauma, entrepreneurial strategy, and activism, and it became an instant bestseller. A 2024 paperback followed, continuing the project of telling her own story rather than having it told for her. In her private life, Hilton married venture capitalist Carter Ream on November 11, 2021, in Los Angeles. Their son, Phoenix Barron, was born via surrogate in January 2023. Their daughter, London Marilyn, arrived via surrogate in November 2023. By 2025, she was publicly balancing work with young family life, speaking often about motherhood's grounding effect after years of frenetic schedules. The world had changed by the time Hilton announced a return to full-length pop in 2024, nearly 2 decades after Stars Are Blind, she revealed, Infinite Icon, teased collaborations, and re-entered a music ecosystem transformed by platforms she helped pioneer as a media figure. The headline was less about surprise than about longevity. She had never actually stepped away from the work. If there is one lesson Paris Hilton's path offers, it's that a persona can be both an armor and a prison, and that it takes work to turn it into a platform. The It Girl of the early aughts became an operator, building a consumer portfolio, touring a DJ set honed over years, and lending her visibility to a survivors movement that has already changed law and policy in places where the cameras rarely focus. That evolution isn't myth. It's documented, on the record, and ongoing.